I know that sounds like a bit of a weird question, but do you know which way is Newcastle, mate? Anything? No? Alright, cool. When you think of the word cyclist, what is the first thing that comes to mind? Lycra wearing, road tax avoiding, leg shaving son of a bike riding, in my honestly humble and completely biased opinion, is the best sport in the entire world. Not only do you get to explore the world like no other way possible, you learn skills that you never even knew you had. One of these being an impeccable sense of direction. I would go as far as saying my coordination is on par with a homing pigeon that has a sat-nav strapped to its neck. And that is why, ladies and gentlemen, in today's episode, me and my good friend Brian are going to attempt to cycle from the west coast of Great Britain in a small village of Bowness-on-Solway all the way across to the east coast in Tyneside, using only the senses from under our noses that we have acquired over years and years of bike riding. And also, probably, most likely, definitely some guidance from the great British public. Oh, and one last thing before the video starts. Apparently half of you guys that watch my videos aren't actually subscribed to my channel. So if you enjoy these videos and you want to stay up to date with all of my madness adventures, just scroll down, whether you're on your phone or the computer, and just click the subscribe button. And that way you'll never miss any of my future videos. Welcome to Bowness-on-Solway. We're actually not in Bowness. We are currently 8 1/4 miles away from Bowness-on-Solway, but we're going to park the van here. We're officially moving. First stop, Bowness-on-Solway. It's about 8 miles. We're going to get to that point because that is where the west coast begins, and then we can return down this road and start the journey to Tynemouth. We chose this route, we decided to do this route because I believe it's the shortest coast-to-coast route in the country, and also we should go down some pretty epic roads along the route. Ladies and gentlemen, we've officially arrived at the Irish Sea. This is the River-esque estuary. We've made it to Bowness-on-Solway, which is officially the westernmost, most western point. Don't know what I'm trying to say, but either way, we're going to start our journey to Tynemouth. It's that way's east. The first leg of the trip is to Carlisle, which shouldn't be too hard. It is only one road, and a road that we've already ridden today. So if we get lost at this stage, then we're in for a rough day. Very quickly, I want to briefly interrupt the video and just remind you guys about one of the channel sponsors, which is Athletic Greens. I've been taking Athletic Greens every single morning for about the past 3 months now, and throughout the whole of winter, I've managed to stay fit and healthy and avoid all of the cold and flus that are going around. Each serving contains 75 proven minerals, vitamins, and whole food ingredients. And right now, using my link, which is in the description of this video, you can get yourself an extra $79 worth of Athletic Greens products with your first purchase. Guys, I thoroughly recommend this stuff. So at this stage, all that we know is east is directly in front of us. Last night I did try and memorize like a few of the towns that we would go through, but I've already forgotten.
It's okay, we've got the route on here.
Okay, alright.
Carlisle, town number 1, done. Now that first bit was arguably the easiest bit. Just one straight road. Now it's gonna get more tricky. All right, the east. Guess we wanna go to the east. Oh look, a big castle. All right then, Christopher Columbus, where do you think we're going now?
Carlisle North.
Yeah.
And then we can pick up the roads that go parallel with Hadrian's Wall.
Yeah, so basically we just have to follow Hadrian's Wall. Hadrian's Wall, for you millennials that are yet to enroll in your GCSE history, was a defence mechanism built by the Romans to keep the old Scots out of the land around the year AD 122. During its time, it spanned from the west coast of England all the way across to the east, and this is where I had the light bulb moment. If the Romans could do it nearly 2,000 years ago, this should be a breeze. Alright, stop number 1 of the trip. We're just outside of Carlisle. We've been riding for about an hour and 20. We've not actually been riding that far, so we don't really need to stop for food, but we go out into some kind of pretty barren places where we might not pass a shop for like 20 or 30 miles, so we thought it would make a bit of a pit stop, a couple of flapjacks, some Haribo, and a caramel chocolate egg. Pretty standard.
And a millionaire slice.
So what I learned from my research of this route was there's a road called the A69, which basically goes from Carlisle all the way to Newcastle, but the thing is pretty much like a motorway. But at least we know if this road is within sight, we can't be going too far wrong.
Add it up.
I know that sounds like a bit of a weird question, but do you know which way is Newcastle, mate? Anything? No? Alright, cool. Public indecency happening right now. Cycling across Britain without a map, what of it? We were tackling this thing like the Romans tackled the French. After 2 hours of riding and a little over 55 kilometres, we were well on our way to Newcastle. Our confidence was as high as our morale, until... I think we might have taken the first wrong turn of the trip. Unless we can go right. Nah, there's a gate in there. We might be entering a farm.
I'd love to check a map and see where it actually goes, because I want to go on it, but
I know, we
I don't want
can't.
to risk it.
That's cheating. I think we're gonna have to turn around. I don't want to see an angry farmer. So after quickly mulling over the situation, we decided it wasn't a through road, so we U-bolted and headed for the exit. It turns out we weren't the first people to make this mistake. The driveway just looked ever so inviting. There is a dedicated Strava segment called Wrong Turn that me and 26 other people have completed this voyage to the farm, and I managed to bag myself a top 5. Swings and roundabouts. But on a brighter and seemingly more positive note, we are about 30 miles in, an hour and 50 minutes, and I think we're heading in the direction of east. I think we're heading in the right direction, but just not quite yet. Right? I mean, all we've got to go off is Moorfield, boarding kennels and cattery. I think right.
I'm tempted to say left.
Well, how about I go right, you go left?
See you back in Carlisle.
We decided to go right. I think that's the first time, the first point of the trip where I've been like, where we both kind of have no idea where we're going, and we're completely in the middle of absolutely nowhere. I think this is where...
Wall.
Hey?
Hadrian's wall.
We're off to find Hadrian and his wall. Do you reckon that's his wall?
It's pretty crap if it is. Hadrian's not much of a builder.
Hadrian, you got a rubbish wall. 2.5 hours we lasted before going crazy. 2.5 hours. We just got to this sign, and I thought it said Newcastle, but it doesn't. Hi mate, I know you're busy with your frisbee and everything, but do you know the way to Newcastle? That way. Cheers. Like I said, we're going crazy. I apologise. That is one hell of a church. Yo, if nothing else, the scenery is absolutely stunning. No idea where we're going, but these roads are amazing. Have you seen Hadrian yet?
No, but I've seen a big hill, Jesus.
Oh no, there's another one! Mate, these things are never ending. So we've been riding for 2 hours and 22 minutes. And we just come across this sign that said Carlisle 13 miles that way. Not gonna lie, morale did take a hit, but you know me, ever the optimist.
Add it up.
Look at this. We've finally found Hadrian and his wall. But what this does mean is that we're at least on the right path. We're like Max and Paddy on the road to nowhere. Neither of us know where we're going.
Don't know where we've been either.
We don't know where we've been, but we do know the roads in this part of the world are amazing.
I think I know roughly where I am in relation to that road.
Really? I know, dead end. Yep, you're right. He had absolutely no idea. But after another quick Yui, we're back on track. What's more, we picked up a sweet tailie outside of Halt Whistle, and we were ticking off K's faster than Boris is going to initiate Article 50. Oh crap, that's a bad analogy. So this sign shows that we're nearly halfway. It's 25 miles back to Carlisle that way, and 32 miles back to, 32 miles to Newcastle. But, I mean, it looks like someone's put a couple of 50 cal rounds in on the Newcastle sign, which slightly worries me. With DJ Sammy blaring, we were ticking along nicely. 100 kilometers in the legs and we were on the right side of the country and starting seeing signs for the concluding town, Newcastle. Nothing can stop us now, not even those pesky Romans. It's getting pretty hilly, isn't it, mate?
This bit don't like hills.
But as a wise man once said, what goes up must come down. I just hope that wise man is around the next corner. So the signs that we were just following for Newcastle were taking us onto the A69, which is the one road today that we're avoiding on this excursion. So we're back to winging it. We can't be more than 20 miles out from Newcastle now, so we should be all right. There it is, 8 miles to go. 8 miles to go.
Which way's Newcastle? How do we get to Newcastle? We're trying to get from Carlisle to Newcastle without using maps or technology.
That way?
Yeah, well, you're on the military road.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a dog leg to get over there.
Okay.
There's 69. Turn right and then you're back on that straight road you've been on.
So we're in the kind of the vicinity of Newcastle right now. It's actually probably the hardest part of the ride is like right now. I'm trying to get to Tynemouth, not actually Newcastle, because Tynemouth is where the North Sea officially starts, and that's what we're trying to get to. And we're stood on this main road, like trying to look at the signs. And none of these signs say Tynemouth, so I think we could be lost, mate. There it is, Newcastle upon Tyne. Yes! Although we aren't actually there yet, we need to get to Tynemouth, which is like another 5 miles out the back of Newcastle. But at least we're nearly there. Tynemouth, right turn. We're just gonna find the river and then follow the river all the way to the coast, but turns out there's a sign there, so it's easy.
Okay, alright.
So the River Tyne is just down there. We're basically just going to follow it along the side, and eventually it's going to take us to the seaside. And that's where the challenge is going to end. It might be going dark and it might be getting cold, but we've officially made it to Tynemouth. Now, the challenge doesn't finish until we see water, until we touch water. So now we've got to find some water. So from the Irish Sea on the west coast to the North Sea all the way in Tynemouth, after 5 hours and 45 minutes, 155 kilometers, we've made it, boys and girls. I'm gonna officially touch the water. Boom. Challenge completed. So despite not having a route planned or looked at a map once, we found some pretty spectacular roads. It just goes to show that sometimes the best adventures are the ones that have been prepared the least. Just a sense of direction, help from a couple of locals, and a few road signs. Okay, quite a lot of road signs. It's really all that you need. I thoroughly hope you enjoyed today's episode. Leave a like if you did, and if you want to stay more up to date with me on a day-to-day basis, then subscribe to my brand new vlog channel by clicking on the circle icon right now, where I'll be posting much more regularly. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. This sign officially means that we're over halfway. It's 25 miles back to Carlisle. No, wait.